Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nursofiyah binti Hasri and my ID number is 2022917449 and I am from LG2401A.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aina Shafina binti Ahmad Rashidi and my student ID is 2022961267. So today I will be presenting and explaining our academic research paper outlined. So the area that we have touched is English language and education under the topic the importance of English, the importance of learning English, and how it helps students. So for the intro, I explain generally and briefly about what is English and why is it important for us, for other people, and especially students to learn English in their life. And for the body, I have written three main importance of learning English, and the first one is it is used as medium of instruction, especially in the higher or tertiary level of educations. So I explained in the first paragraph on how English is used as a medium of instruction in tertiary level and why it's important for students to learn English, because it might be easier for them to pursue their studies in the tertiary level if they understood English, because a lot of subjects under their maybe the courses that they chosen is instructed, like the class instructed in English. So it's very important for them to know English before they pursue their studies. And then on the second paragraph, I talk about how it gives more job opportunities, better job opportunities for students, because in the article that I have cited, two of the articles that I've cited, they said that English is very critical, very crucial in the business world, especially in the business world. So a lot of companies as well, like major companies, usually search for students or graduate students that are proficient in English. So I believe that it is very important to learn English in order for students to get a better chance at choosing a job that they want. And then in the third paragraph, I talk about how English is considered a global language in practically everywhere around the world, and why is it's important for students to learn English, because it's a global language. So when it is a global language, everything that we want to search about, especially for students, for study materials, all of those are written in English. So it will be easier for them to search for any resources, especially for their studies, like research materials or just any notes on their studies, notes for their subjects that they're learning. Everything can be accessed using English, because English is considered a global language, and a lot of the data or a lot of the notes that we can find on the internet are all in English. So it will be easier for students if they learn English. And I've cited a few of the articles that I've read. And also in this paragraph, I talk about how it is easy for them to access resources if they learn English. Then for comparison, I've compared three aspects. various findings, arguments, and also methodology. So in various findings, I found that in the importance of learning English nowadays articles, it stated that learning English is easy and it can be compared to the articles, the advantage of understanding English in modern era. But it also stated or is also found that learning English is easy, which is the author found from the respondents that answered their interview. And then for arguments, article importance of English language in today's world can be compared with the article importance of learning English in today's world by another author that stated or that argues English is very crucial and important, especially in the business world. So for methodology, article the advantage of understanding English in modern era can be compared to the article teacher's perception about the importance of English for young English learners, where they both talk about where they both use qualitative methods in the form of interview to collect data.
To start with, the contrast finding that we found in our research article is that in the article titled The Advantage of Learning English in the Modern Era by Putra 2021, the author conducted an interview to some of the English learners who learn English as their second language, and the interview is based on ways that how they can enhance their English language. So some of the learners reveals that they are able to enhance their English language by teaching other people the language. So when they teach other people the language, they are able to enhance in terms of communication skills, writing and reading skill. So on contrary, another learner stated that it is easier for them to enhance their English language by doing self-learning. So self-teaching is better to them. Secondly, the contrast argument that we found is that in the article titled English Language in Malaysian Education System, Its Existence and Implication by Ramiza and Albion 2013, the author argues that most Malaysian students suffers from language anxiety, and learning the second language is quite difficult. However, if a student has the motivation, is determined, and are very engaged in the learning process and the language itself, then it is easier for them to learn the language. In contrary, if a student doesn't have the motivation, isn't engaged in the learning process, then they will suffer from stress, frustration, uneasiness, self-doubt, and apprehension, and this will discourage them from learning the language. Lastly, the final contrast, which is the methodology, and this can be seen in the article The Advantage of Understanding English in the Modern Era by Putra 2021. So the author did qualitative research and conducted an interview to the English language learners, and the interview was conducted to gain information about how the learners are able to enhance in terms of their English, and basically the ways on how they enhance the English. In contrary, another article, which is How Can We Help Students Who Are English Language Learners by Zigenfus Odiambo and KS 2014, they did quantitative research, which is a polling data, and they did it to the bilingual people who live in America and who still speak two languages, to find out and how many people are there speaking not only English but also another language. So moving on to the synthesis and evaluation of the research article. First one is that in the article titled The Importance of English Language in Today's World by Nishanti 2018, the study summarizes on how English is the most predominant language universally, and the study also provides reason on why we should learn English, on how non-native speakers should learn the language, why it's important to us, the advantage that we could have by learning the language. So the study concludes with a reiteration that English is universally salient. However, the study is mostly based on personal observation of the author, which means it doesn't have a concrete reason, such as interview, data transcript from expert newspaper and experimental survey. Furthermore, the second article titled English Language in Malaysian Education System, Its Existence and Implication by Ramiza and Albion 2013. So the study summarizes on the history of the English language and the importance of the language to every Malaysian. The study also provides reasons how English has become one of the most important language after Malay, and that Malay have better exposure to the language. The study also revealed that most Malaysian students suffer from major anxiety. Even though English has been around for so many years, Malaysians still find it difficult to learn the language. The study then concludes that English plays a significant role in Malaysian society, which is they unite other culture and races, and English will give more exposure and advantage to one's employment. However, the research on Malaysian students suffers from major anxiety is based on the author's personal observation, which means there's no concrete data or analysis on the research, and they should have a concrete data, because it's to ensure that the data is more credible. Moving on to the third article, which is called The Importance of English Language in Today's World, written by Reddy 2016. So the study summarizes on the importance of English and how it has become one of the most major language universally. The study also reveals that there are so many reasons why English is important, and that the 4 skills of English, which is reading, listening, speaking, writing, are all beneficial to people nowadays. The study then concludes by saying that English is important in communication, and it is extremely important in the working field. However, the study is lacked of concrete data, and most of the data is based on the author's personal observation. Moving on to the last article, which is called The Advantage of Understanding English in the Modern Era, written by Putra 2021. So the article is very similar to the previous article. The study summarizes on how English is important in today's world, and that English is the most important communication tool. The study also provides ways on how people can enhance their language, and how it is beneficial for people nowadays. The study then concludes that English plays a dominant role, and that people should learn the language because it will help them in the future and the present. However, I believe the study is lack of people when they did interview. When the author did an interview, I think that he should add more people, so then the interview or the data will be more credible. So moving on to the recommendation and suggestion for the article that I've read, I think that most of the articles are lacked of reliable, I would say, research or reliable data. I think that they should use more qualitative research, especially in terms of interviewing or survey, because it aligns with the topic and the area of the studies. And also they could use case study, because case study provides an intensive description and analysis of the study. Lastly, the assumption and bias that I found in all the articles is that in the 3 articles, the bias are very similar. So 3 articles are The Importance of Learning English in Today's World by Nishanti, The Importance of English Language in Today's World by Reddy, and The Advantage of Understanding English in Modern Era by Putra. All of the authors are biased towards the English language, and they believe that the language is the most important language in the world and it is used universally. Other than that, in the article Education System and English Language Teaching in the Philippines, Implications for Indonesian EFL Learning by Turmudi and Hajan 2020, the authors are biased towards the fact that the Philippines have better teaching system than the Indonesia, and they think that Philippines have better exposure in the English language than Indonesians. The authors also have assumptions on the Philippine teachers. They believe that Philippine teachers teach basic English to their students. To conclude, from all the articles that we've read, we found that English is the most important and predominant language in the world, and it is used universally, and it is the most important tool for communication, and it gives people benefits and advantage to those who are fluent in the language. So that is all from us. Thank you for listening.